Alright guys, so I'm here today at my uncle's place, my other uncle, and he's nice enough to let me use his heated garage, and yeah, so this thing still runs really good, but it has had a pretty decent sized oil leak from the oil pan. So what I'm gonna do is pull the pan and replace the gasket because it looks like the pan was slightly damaged whenever I got the engine. Didn't realize it until after the fact, but yeah, so I'm gonna pull the pan, straighten it out a little bit, and replace the gasket, and hopefully that stops the leak. So overall, the process is fairly simple if you have a 1J in an IS300 or any other Toyota chassis for that matter. I basically just hooked the hoist straight up to this front hook, just so I could lift the engine in the front. All I did is I unhooked the upper intercooler pipes on both sides, and let me turn my flash, and I just lifted it just enough so I can get in there and holy blurry, and get those upper bolts out of the pan. As you can see right there, there's actually a kink, which is, I'm assuming, what shifted the pan a little bit and broke the seal because it's leaking all throughout there. Everything on top of there is dry. The little bit of wetness you see is just residual wetness. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take this sucker off. Alright guys, so I got that pan off, and as you can see, that is definitely bent. Before I scraped all this gasket off, you could see that this whole section was wet. So it tells me that this is definitely where the leak was coming from, which is not hard to tell because it's definitely bent. So I'm going to straighten that out, get it all cleaned up, put the new gasket on, and we should be set. Well, I found the big issue here. God damn it, dude. Look at that. You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. I went to start scraping the shit off here. I touched it and it fell off. So I'm assuming when the engine was shipped, they dropped it, which dented the lower pan, which cracked this upper pan. Unfortunately, I do not have the time, or, well, I have the time because it's winter, but, motherfucker, this sucks. I think what I'm gonna do, since the oil pan doesn't have a ton of pressure, and the piece stays there by itself, but I'm gonna JB weld it. I know that's highly recommended against, but yeah, I'm gonna do it and see if it continues to leak or not. If it doesn't, I think we'll be okay. If it does still leak, or it breaks again, or it falls off or whatever, I have all winter. I'll order a new upper oil pan, pull the engine, and replace the whole fucking thing. But I don't really feel like doing all that, so I'm gonna JB weld it, and hopefully she stays put. I really just need to seal it up so that way the oil doesn't seep out of the engine. With the oil pan on and all that, the lower oil pan, and with it JB welded, it should keep it in place. So I really just need to make sure that it's sealed properly so that way oil doesn't seep through that crack. But this sucks. Back on the floor. It's the next day, at my uncle's place again, and I did end up putting that quick steel on here. It was actually like a paste and not that putty stuff, so but it was rated for like 500 degrees and has like 47,000 pounds of tensile strength or something like that. So for temporary purposes, this should work okay. Got her pretty flat. It's all dried and cured. I let it cure overnight. Yeah, it should fix my issue, at least temporarily. It was actually not leaking through where this was cracked. It was only leaking through the seal here because the seal was broken. So this should be okay. I mean, the piece was staying up here by itself, so the oil pan and everything should actually hold it in place pretty good. And now that it's sealed, it doesn't have the possibility of oil leaking out through that crack there. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the rest of the upper oil pan of all the old stuff and put the new gasket on. Alright guys, so I let the RTV all cure. I ended up putting some extra up on top of there where it was cracked also, just so I can make sure that's not going to leak on me. But yeah, I'm gonna start the car up and see how she does. Hopefully she don't leak. Well, oil leak seems to be fixed. I'm actually taking the car back to my storage unit right now. I'll check when I get there again to see if it's leaking or not. But I'll also come back sometime this coming week, and see if it leaked at all. I don't think it's going to. It seemed like everything sealed up pretty nice, so hopefully she stays that way. Oh, and quick before I end this video, just side note, I have an extra 1J VVTi turbo, manifold, oil lines, the turbo elbow, the O2 sensor, pretty much everything that involves the turbo setup on a 1J VVTi that I don't need. It's sitting in my storage unit. It's going to sit there until somebody buys it. But if you or anybody you know might need it or want it, let me know. I'm asking $300 and I'll ship it in the lower 48 states. So hit me up on that if you want it. So, alright guys, thanks for watching this video. Sucks that oil pan was broken, but I made the best of the situation for temporary purposes. If it leaks, I'll fix it. I'll probably just get a new pan, or I'll actually just take it off the engine and go get it TIG welded. Hey kitty. Meow. But yeah, so it hasn't leaked so far. I'll check it again in a couple of days because it's just sitting in my storage unit now for winter. More things are coming. I already got new side skirts, getting a new front bumper. The car's going to get repainted this winter. But yeah, drift content might be a little slow because it is winter and it has started snowing here in Wisconsin. So don't really want to take it outside. The car's not rusty at all, so I'd rather not get it rusty over the winter. I want to keep it clean. So, but on that note, I'm going to let you guys go. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.